Let's just get this out of the way. The deep killing Black Noir is one of the most nonsensical, frustrating, and downright insulting plot twists The Boys has ever pulled. I'm not saying the show hasn't thrived on shock value before. It absolutely has. But this feels like shock for shock's sake, and it undermines years of careful character building. Black Noir has always been the silent assassin, the shadow in the corner, the guy you don't mess with because you won't live to tell the tale. He's been built up as one of Vought's most dangerous assets, a lethal enforcer who doesn't need words to terrify. His mystique was his power. Every time Noir showed up, you knew someone was about to die and it was going to be brutal. Now compare that to the Deep. This is a guy whose entire arc has been humiliation. He's the butt of the joke, the insecure soup who talks to fish and cries over lobsters in tanks. He's been manipulated, sidelined, and mocked by literally everyone. Homelander, Starlight, even random civilians. His powers are situational at best, and his attempts at redemption have been pathetic. He's comic relief, not a credible threat. So when the writers decided, hey, let's have the Deep strangle Noir and stab him with his own knife, it felt like they threw logic out the window. It's like watching a clown beat a ninja. It doesn't track, it doesn't feel earned, and it doesn't respect the characters we've been following for 5 seasons. The power imbalance. Let's talk about the sheer absurdity of the fight itself. Noir has enhanced strength, reflexes, and years of combat training. He's taken down squads of enemies without breaking a sweat. He survived explosions, gunfire, and brutal hand-to-hand combat. He's basically a silent Terminator. The Deep, he swims fast. He talks to fish. He gets bullied by Homelander. That's it. There's no universe where Noir should lose a straight fight to him. If the writers wanted to make it believable, they could have had Noir weakened, poisoned, or betrayed. Maybe Noir was already injured from another mission, or maybe the Deep had some kind of technological advantage. But no, they went with the Deep finally snaps. That's not storytelling, that's lazy writing. Thematic payoff that falls flat. Now, I get what they were trying to do. This was supposed to be the Deep's big moment, his chance to finally assert himself, to break free from being the Seven's punching bag, to prove he's more than comic relief. On paper, that sounds great. But in execution, it's hollow. The Deep hasn't grown, he hasn't trained, he hasn't overcome anything, he's still the same insecure, desperate guy he's always been. So when he suddenly manages to kill Noir, it doesn't feel like triumph, it feels like a cheat. It's not earned character development, it's a shortcut. And shortcuts don't resonate. Instead of feeling like the Deep finally stepped into his own, it feels like the writers forced a shocking twist without laying the groundwork. It's like they wanted the headlines, "The Deep kills Black Noir," without caring about whether it made sense in the story. The insult to Noir's arc. And let's not forget what this does to Noir. This is a character who's been built up for 5 seasons as mysterious, terrifying, and loyal. He's been through hell, he's been betrayed, and he's still managed to remain one of the most compelling figures in the show. To have him go out at the hands of the team's weakest link is not subversive. It's disrespectful. Noir deserved a meaningful send-off, something that honored his legacy and gave closure to his arc. Instead, he gets strangled by the guy who once got outsmarted by a dolphin. That's not clever, that's insulting. It cheapens everything Noir stood for. It takes a character who was feared and respected and reduces him to a punchline. And for what? Shock value. Satire gone wrong. Now, I know The Boys thrives on satire. It loves to subvert expectations, to mock superhero tropes, to show us the absurdity of corporate power structures. And maybe that's what they were going for here. The idea that incompetence can triumph over skill, that loyalty and desperation matter more than ability in Vought's twisted world. But satire only works when it's clever. This wasn't clever. This was clumsy. Instead of making a sharp point about corporate hierarchies or misplaced loyalty, it just made the audience roll their eyes. It felt less like biting commentary and more like a bad joke.